Welcome to Growth Mafia.tv, where we publicly build real life business solutions using AI powered technologies. At this juncture, at this point, we're in episode number 4. And in the past episode, we've been using ChatGPT, Lovable, Replit, Gemini 3. Did I forget anything, Gideon? I think that's it, right?
Yeah,
I
that's
was
it.
thinking, yeah, we're probably going to use Claude. We're going to try that out in the next few episodes, but just for the episodes so far, we've been using this AI powered technology. If you've been following us, we built Fill My Chair and the Revenue Coach. Okay. So we're quite excited about that. We're in the verge now of adding testers and actual users and sort of testers to the system, and we'll see how it goes. We really believe that it can at least 10x their business if they follow through what the revenue coach is doing. If they're using the Fill My Chair, I mean that software alone can really help improve revenue. Okay, all right. So what do we have today? Um, Gideon, before
Yep.
we proceed, do you have anything you'd like to share? Or
I'm excited in our and what we're going to do today. And
yeah, there's just so many things that we would like to do. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities, right? Like I'm
mhm,
speaking, and I believe Gideon, you're gonna agree with me that
yep,
in the past we've been trying to build what we've been building, right? But it just takes a lot of time, just a lot of effort. And right now we felt like there's just so many things that we'd like to build. We'd like to see it launched to the world. And while Gideon and I were working on the revenue coach, like it dawned on us, and this is something that we can discuss now. It dawned on us that there's a common need, and I'm sure a bunch of you guys out there had the same need. Like I was working on a revenue coach. So the goal of the revenue coach, right, is to help entrepreneurs increase their revenue. And there's an AI component there that analyzes your data and gives you tailored fit advice. Now I'm thinking, what if it can also coach me? Like I have a system that can coach me in terms of how will I, number one, manage my money, and how can I grow? How can I make wise decisions, right? And I know there are a lot of tools out there. There are a lot of software out there. I believe there was like
yep.
one that's I don't know what software did you use aside from Excel. Git. I'm pretty sure you have the same experience as well.
Yeah, I've seen one called, I think it's Monarch or something. It's a
Monarch.
budgeting tool.
Yeah.
I never tried it, but for me personally, I just use the Google Sheets.
Well,
But
I use Google Sheet. There was a tool that I like, which is I believe it's like Pocket Wealth or something. And there's of course there's other things, right? My weakness as a person is I'm too disorganized with like, and I'm making a confession now. Disorganizing comes to like just putting things together financially. Like,
Mhm.
I have like bank and credit card statements. I wish there's a way to just, I wish there's a person I can just give all these receipts and everything, and it will just
Yeah,
like organize it for me, right?
yeah, yeah, I have the same experience. Like, when doing it on spreadsheet, okay, I have to manually enter, and I have the same thoughts. Okay, what if we have this app where we can just feed it all the statements and it will, you know,
Yeah, it's called lazy way of like personal finance, right? And so I don't know about you. Maybe I do met. I've met a lot of people though that are so organized. If you look at their spreadsheet, it's like so organized. I mean, but I don't know if I can get to that point. But I'm thinking like we already are in a day and age where there is sort of a technology that can help us to do that, right? And the other thing that we'll introduce for this episode is a framework, and we were this framework didn't came out of nowhere. This framework is something that Gideon would always bring up. Like we'll say like, oh, let's start with the way we always do things. Like whenever we
mhm.
build like fill my chair, we've always started with a certain step, and we look at each other and we're thinking like, can we actually create a framework? Because it's already we've been doing this. I know we've shown you two applications, right? But in the background, there's like a lot more, and there's one that there's probably two or three that will showcase on the next few episodes. And all of these things that we built, it always follow this framework, and this framework is called the Forge framework. Gideon, maybe you would like to like talk a
Yeah,
little bit about that.
yeah. So we call it the Growth Mafia Framework. So it stands for stands for focus. So basically, we started that with focus. We don't want. we don't want to get distracted by feature creep. So we basically focus on what is the goal, that what is the problem that we're solving. And with this, we identify the singular objective that will move the needle, right? So
Yeah.
and O stands for outline. So at this stage, this is where we create the architectural outline. This is where we kind of try to come up with the UX or the UI phase. And since we use AI, this is the part where we battle with AI,
Yeah.
brainstorm and come up with a UI that that would really solve or reach the goal that we're trying.
Yeah, let me just do a quick comment on this
Mm.
first two, which is focus and outline. I believe a lot of this, a lot of the work, the thinking and the formation work is coming from these two phases. I'm realizing that as I'm working with these projects, right, that it takes a long time for me to get what I want in terms of like what is it that I like focus, right? The word is there, but like what is the outcome that you really want to? It's quite what
Hmm.
you want AI to spit out, and it's quite I would say I wouldn't say hassle, but there's a lot of mental effort there that's
Yeah.
taking place.
Yeah. So this is the stage where you are like, you are, what's the word for it? Like, what's your vision
Yeah,
for the app,
defining your
right?
vision. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. And then so first is focus. Next is outline, which is the design. So that's where we decide on the UI, the UX for the app. And then the third one is R. It stands for render. So this is where we actually implement. So this is the part where we let AI do implement the app. So that's why it's very important. The first two steps is already
Set.
like set, because so that when you get to the third step, which is the render step, you'll just let the AI do it. And if you get the first two steps right, you'll have a good
Yeah.
prompt, and the AI will be able to build the app with less changes. Or
Yeah,
from my
it's
experience, most of the time it works.
let me so my experience with this before, and I don't know, Gideon, maybe you had a different experience, but my experience when I started with Riplet, for example, and Lovable, what I did is I opened Lovable, opened Riplet, and then like start typing requirements, and then like it's always something different from what I thought it would go, right? And
Hmm.
so learning from those experience, that's why we thought of, how about if we follow a process, right? And so a lot of you guys who are new to AI would directly go to Riplet and Lovable and just type in. You directly want to see the rendering aspect of it. And it's the best way because
Hmm.
one is that you'll always get surprised of what, well, not always, but most of the time I'm always surprised
Hmm.
of how it looks like, and not in a positive way most of the time. But if I have a clear instruction, Riplet and Lovables, they're quite powerful software. They're quite powerful platforms, right? And so you have to provide them a lot of context. What I do notice though, as I'm using it, I would say it has gotten so much better in just a matter of weeks and months, even, right? I don't know. That's my
Hmm.
feeling. Like before, it was I didn't like the output, but then now it's getting so much better. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's rendering, right?
Yeah. So I would say 30 to 50% of the idea creation is on the first two step, and then render, you'll just let AI do it. And yeah, if you do the first two steps right, most of the time the render would be smooth, and you won't have any back and forth. And you have other benefits as well. Like you're using up your credits efficiently if you do it that way.
Yes.
Yeah, because I remember when as you mentioned, Joe, you just go straight to lovable type, and then you'll get back and forth, and yeah, you'll use up all your credits before you get the.
And you're not even halfway there.
And then the fourth step is G, which stands for gauge. So basically, this is where we get the feedback. So we gauge the product's performance. This replaces the testing. So this is kind of the testing stage, but the word implies measurement and precision. So this
Yeah.
is where we do beta testing, we do bug fixing, we gather initial user interactions.
Yeah. So
And
for fill my chair, we are sort of in the gauge to the last step, which is let's
mhm,
talk about for this one, for this episode, just for the software that we're building, we want to get to
mhm,
interface, and so possibly so much closer. And there's also one thing that we will introduce later that will basically, the idea is to build on top of what we've already built. Okay,
mhm.
so yeah. And then the last one.
The last one is E, which stands for expand. So this is where we this is the we launch the app, and this is where we scale on our marketing, because once we've done the gauge, we already like, kind of have the market sentiment, or
Yeah,
we kind of tested our app.
kind of have an
And
idea of how the users will react. But by the end of the day, someone else said, like, the ultimate judge is the market, right? The ultimate
Mhm,
judge are the users that will use it, and so we'll do our best. But then by the end of the day, it's the users who will decide either they will fall in love with it or not. And yeah, and so that's the Forge framework, and that's what we're going to follow here in Growth Mafia TV. So going back to the project, Gideon, do you have like any like wish lists or thoughts on like what would be, let's look at like just the requirement of what we're
mhm.
building.
Yeah, for me, I want the app to be similar to the revenue coach, right? Where for the revenue coach, you would feed the 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 business expenses and income, and then it will show, like,
Yeah.
a graph of where you are and where the business is going, the trajectory. So similarly for personal finance, I want to see where I'm at, like, okay, this is like, I can see, okay, this is my monthly cash flow, and this is my money goes to these
How I'm
categories,
spending
and I'm
money.
overspending in this. And then if I continue in this pattern, then
Yeah.
positively I'll reach this, or I'm on a downward, like,
Yep.
spending more than my income, essentially. So
Absolutely. Yeah, this is good. That's a really good idea. And let's look at like in terms of requirements, right? Our goal is to one, make it so much easy for any user, any person out there. All you need to do is grab your bank statement, grab your credit card statement, and even your payroll. You grab it. So if your payroll flows into your personal account, you grab it, right? Put them together and then upload it to the system, and we'll do a deep dive on your transactions, and it will try to see, for example, for your credit card statement, it will break down like what how much you're spending for subscription, how much you're spending for this and that, right? And it would,
mhm,
and it can, because you have now the data, it will also suggest like certain things that you can reduce, right? And
mhm,
then it also tracks your progress. So if you made certain adjustment in your funds, let's say for the month of December, on January change it a little bit, right? On January you change it a little bit, and it will create a trajectory for you. The
mhm,
AI, the
yeah,
coach should be able to tell you, yeah, good job on this, good job that you made this. Say for example, you are already, if you're making money, there's always better ways to improve, right? There's definitely
mhm,
ways to improve, and the AI coach will gear you towards that. So the way we see the coaching aspect or the AI coaching aspect to it is, one is data driven. Number two, it will try to look into like the industry best practices, right? Imagine like the smartest financial coach will guide you. Obviously, it will not give you financial advice. It will just help you, coach you, and just give you some insights, right? It is still up to you whether you will embrace it or not. Because by the end of the day, it's AI, right? It will give you its best interpretation of your data. And it really helps when you have someone or someone else look into your data and give you like this different insight. You will have a dashboard. In my head, there's a dashboard. There's a way for me to track all these things, and then it should prompt me multiple times, like every month, that I need to provide this information so that it can better help me.
and a thought just came to my mind. It can also have something like, give you a score.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's keep that in mind, because I yeah. The other thing, so it has to be, and really the goal is not to shame you, right? The goal is to
Mhm,
support you. And the app should be, should be, you should be able to talk to it, like engage it, and should come back to you with like steps. And so this is why we're thinking, you know what, what would be a good name for this, right? Obviously, not every time we come up with a name, but for this one, Gideon and I, we went back and forth. And I'm like, you know what would be a good name? And we came up with a really simple.
Yeah.
I was gonna say cute. It's like because like it's like so simple. And then the name that we have with this is called Finn, Finn. So it's in my head is because of like financial,
Mhm.
right? So Fin. All right, so we're gonna be building Fin today. There's a couple of ways that we've thought of how to do that. By the way, we haven't done this. We haven't before today. This is gonna be the first time as well for Gideon and I to see one. I'm kind of curious. One way, the quickest way, is to remix
The
the
revenue coach.
revenue coach. The
Can you
second way.
elaborate? Can you elaborate more on the remix, Joe? For those who are not familiar with that,
Oh
go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, that's a good idea. So let me share my screen super quick. Thank you, Gideon. Okay, here we go. So give me a second here. I'm just gonna do this, then come back here. So here's our lovable site. So we have the revenue coach over here. You can actually remix it, and what it does, it takes all the functionalities, everything, and it copies it to another project, and then you can use the functionality and tweak it, right? We can do that. Do you want to do that, or do you want to start from scratch? I'm also interested
Uh,
of starting from scratch. I know we've talked about remixing, and it was like I know I you had to say like, you know what, let's do it. Let's remix this. But what are your thoughts?
let's go with remix.
Let's do it
Let's
remix.
see,
Okay.
because we already have like a good
On changing my
revenue coach.
mind,
So
and it's really just because in my head, like, okay, let's remix this, include project history. We don't have
let's
to,
see.
so let's remix it. So it's remixing, it's starting the project, and what we would like to do here is take those core functionalities that we mentioned and then
Hmm.
tell Lovable, let's modify this functionality. It's gonna take some time. Give me a second here. Right, where is
Yeah,
it? It's done. It's done.
not yet.
Not yet. Okay. I didn't realize it will take a bit of time, but that's good. That's fine.
So you've done a couple of remix before. What's your observation? How does it work?
So, so one of the it looks like it's done, right? Yeah. So one of the
Oh yeah.
things that I did was actually remix the revenue coach because Gideon and I have a business for it's called professional contracting company, and that's based in the United States. And we're thinking, you know what? What if we use the same instead of salon business? It will be like not a coach, but focus on professional contracting. So now I have here the two, this one right here, and it says here you can personalize the branding, you can create a test account, you can customize the AI coach, add your own services. I can just say, I need to give me a second here. So Finn, we actually have specs already built. So let me just using the two. Give me a second here, Gideon. By the way, let me share one thing here before. So we already have, basing on our discussion, right? We already have a specification for Fin, right? So what it is a financial dashboard with an AI coach that helps people understand their money, makes a better decision, readily improve their financial situation. It brings together data from multiple bank account, credit card, debit card, shows everything in one place, gives user a smart, supportive AI coach they can talk to about debt, spending, income, long-term goals. Okay. All right. So let's take that. Okay. And let's give that to Lovable. Do you let me get
Yeah.
now Gideon, if you agree with this, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it.
I need to change the purpose.
Yeah. Are you sharing the lovable
Oh, am
thing?
I not sharing
I'm
it?
seeing the doc.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for all right. So let's thanks
Okay.
for bringing that up. Okay. Okay. So here it is. I said I need to change the purpose of the app. The app's purpose. Call the app Fin. Here's the description. Fin is blah blah blah. All right. Exactly what's in the specs. Let me just make changes on the app. Hang on. I have something here that's quite important. I want to. I want to do this. I want to do just sort of a clear. So this is already in the specification. How do I go?
Oh,
Else.
there you go.
I click the um Well, let's delay that. Let's see what it will do first. So the thing with that is it's so high level, right? Update the sidebar. It's gonna go. So it's asking me to update the login information, the branding, the sidebar navigation, update the AI coach context, which is what we want. And
Mm-hmm.
it's also saying that we need to update the design system. Now that I have full context, let me generate a new hero image for the finance theme and update all the files. I'll create a fresh, modern financial dashboard. So my plan was to feed it more information and say, hey, not just that, I want the I want the dashboard to look like this according to our specification. See what it will do with just super high level description of the app's purpose. Okay, so that's quite exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what it will do. It usually it take time. You know, it takes a bit of time to do this. So for
For
Gladys,
for that for that contractor app revenue coach, did you encounter any major issues when you
there was no
did the
issue
remix?
because
Okay.
it's one to one. I just have to
Okay.
change the persona of the AI coach. It
Okay.
has the same mission. It will accept. It will then it change it. It changed. So when I built in contractor, I'm not yet done with that by the way, but I need to finish that this week so the team can use it. And then there's one that we need to that we're building on that side of the business as well. We're busy. And I'm quite excited because it is what I'm realizing, Gideon, is that we're building these tools, right? And we're always incorporating a sort of intelligence inside the software,
Yep.
right? There is some sort of intelligence where one, it will verify data. Two, it will provide insight based on data.
Yes.
And that insight is not coming from its own, it's pulling information from the knowledge of from the cloud, whatever is there, and then
Mhm.
pushing that same information and forming an insight. I always like the word tailored fit insight business. And in this particular case, it's tailored fit insight towards the user with respect to the financial data that it's providing.
Mhm.
Now, I was sharing this to one of my friends.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
doing something, and the logo is quite amazing. Wow, I'm impressed. What are your thoughts here, Gideon?
Yeah, I remember we were, were trying to come up with a UI the other day and
Oh
we
yeah.
got frustrated.
Yeah. So Gideon and I, what we did yesterday, once we figured out that we like the word fin, right? We started like asking it to create a logo, not this one,
Gemini.
another AI, which will
Mhm.
be and then I just didn't like it. Anyway, give me test account. So usually what I do is I will ask it to create a test account. Replit wants you to go through the process of like creating an account. I can do that, but right now I just want to see what the dashboard looks like so I can coach
Mhm.
it. But man, this is good. It's always doing
Same.
these things, right? Like the layout is the same so far, and I'm
Mhm.
wondering if it's learning from our previous experience. You know what I mean?
Could be.
Right? Because the layout is always this, and I for one likes this layout. Like this layout. Oops,
Mhm.
invalid credentials. Okay, let me just do create an account here. Close, save.
Yeah, I like how it generated this image on the right.
Yeah, Joe Librero test. Is that correct? Create password. Okay, now there you go.
Now
So
we can
now,
begin the work.
so there's a problem here. Okay, so let's change customize onboarding for finance. Look, then now here's the cool part here. It says customize onboard. It's already there, so it knows that it's not yet updated at the onboarding, and we're gonna do that. So it will go through like an onboarding process wherein it will ask me, about my financial goals, right? Guys, they're like, I don't know. I haven't shared this again. There's so many things that I'm thinking about. Like there's like implications to this towards like health, and I've been trying
Yeah.
to becoming fit. I've been trying to become fit, not becoming become fit. I suck at discipline, right? So I want to
Mhm.
see if I can create something that will help me become fit. Like use my cell phone and things like that. So there's just so many things that that's good for the next episode. And then what we always see here is that you know every app. usually takes us at least couple of episodes to
Hmm.
cover, because we don't want to bore you guys with like the back and forth. There's a lot of back and forth with AI.
So with this app, Joe, what's the one thing you want from this app?
I just want it to be able to, for me, I'm happy already if we upload a bank statement or a credit card statement, it will
Hmm.
break down. It will give me insights based on my credit card statement.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
So.
if there's an MVP that I would like to see right now, that would be it. If it will
Hmm.
tell me that, then that means that it's able to intuitively, it's able to digest the data, and it's able to make sense out of it. And if it can, then the next steps will be easier, because what we would like to do is, we can set up an account. So say for example, if I have 4 or 5 bank account, right? I want to put
Hmm.
all them there. I can download monthly statements from them, load it to the system. The system will record it, right? Then it will show me a graph of what it looks like, and
Hmm.
then it will give me insights on what I need to do next. Okay. How about you? Do you have like anything you'd like to see?
Yeah, for me, most of the time, the reason I do like spreadsheets as budgeting on Google Sheets is for me to kind of see how much extra do I have like in a month. That way I know, okay, I have this much extra, then I could invest this much, or I could buy stuff,
Right.
because that that's
Absolutely.
that's the probably the one thing I'm looking at the
Yeah.
moment.
So there's one principle that I've seen with my life, and I've seen people talk about this. When I say people, like some financial coaches talk about
Hmm.
this. And in my experience, certain level of savings will unlock certain level of not just confidence, but like opportunities for you.
Hmm.
So if they said that, I remember listening to this podcast, I think it was like 20,000. So if you get to 20,000, it unlocks something for you, and then you can get to 100 or 50 to
Hmm.
100. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's giving me the onboarding questions. It says, what are your financial goals? I'd like to pay off debt. I would like to build savings. Everything here is like a financial goal, right? And then I was like, what describes your current situation? Oh, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Like, right, this is so cool. This is so cool. So, man, so let's just put that there. Like, okay, let's just say 5,000 monthly. I have like, let's say 2,000 in debt or something. And monthly
Hmm.
savings goal would be, I don't know. Yeah, let's follow this 1,000. You can also skip this, guys. Now, you can load financial data. So I would just say generate the bank statement that I can use to test this app, and credit card that I can use to upload. So what I'm doing here is I want to be able to fill this questionnaire right here, and then but I don't want to upload for privacy reason. I don't want to upload my
Yes.
banks, right? So I would like it to create. It would
Yes,
like.
this is recorded.
And yeah, obviously, like, yeah, I'm too shy. I'm too shy to show the financial successes that I already have. This is fun. Would you do something different that I've done so far, Gideon?
So far, no, no. So far it's good. Yeah, because we just tell it to the initial specs, right? And we didn't add.
Yeah, so it's generating something. I said like, yeah, I've generated a test of, but but what I would like to do is to download
Yeah,
this, right?
and I'm just want to point out, I've never thought of using AI to generate the test data. And even to when you did earlier, create a test account, because I always like when I was building an app, okay, I'll sign up, manually enter. Forget all. Then I have to create the account and create the test data.
Yeah, so that just means I'm lazy.
No, you're
That's good. That's good. What is it? Where are my files? I was able
there's
to
not, you can save it. Say you can right click the thing,
right
right?
click save. Hang on.
Yeah.
Right click.
Yeah. I'm trying it here in my browser as well.
Are you able to do it?
Yeah, I'm able to save it. Let me create an account.
Really?
Yeah, you right click on the link. Yeah, it will save the file.
It doesn't on my end. Save link as, right?
Uh-huh.
It doesn't. It will tell me the file wasn't on the site. Do you have it? Can you forward it to me?
Yeah. Let me send it to
All
you.
right. See where, so where are you sending it to Messenger or?
Yeah, I'll send it to Messenger.
Okay.
Hold on.
So
No,
yeah.
sorry, my file wasn't available on site.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the best way to
Turn.
do this? Okay, let me just say I regenerate the file. I cannot. So sometimes, and I've seen this in ChatGPT as well, it will give you a link towards to the file, and then it will not show. It will not be. It's not downloadable. Okay, so now it's what it's doing is it's just giving me the content of the CSV file. And so what we're gonna do with that is that we will go to, hang on, yeah, this is what's happening with live builds. You don't really, you try to plan as much as possible on how to speed things up, but sometimes it's it just doesn't happen. So let me see what I can do here. Let's do this and then copy paste. Okay, test. Okay, I'm gonna download. So what I did in the background, guys, is that I copied the file, and then I copied the file and then opened a Google spreadsheet. And then from Google spreadsheet, I save it to a CSV file. So you can probably see it on your end, but I have here a test bank account. So let's analyze the data. It's failing to upload. Okay, so there's a bug here, and I'm not gonna fix that right now. I'm just gonna go skip, and then
And then there's another bug. It will loop because you haven't uploaded the file.
it's looping. Dang. Skip for now. Skip for now.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. How do we fix this? Right. Let's.
Let me try.
It's okay.
What's the
I'll try to figure this out. 100 monthly savings is 1,000. Continue, and then I'm gonna do this CSV. Why? Okay, analyze. Failed to upload files. Okay, all right, let's fix that back. Error when uploading file. It says, now look at this. I just say, what was the error again?
fail to upload files?
Now look at what I'm doing. I'm just typing what it says when I click analyze data. All right, so it will try to fix the problem for us because it's looping. All right, and then now it's saying, okay, so it's trying to modify the database. It's saying the storage bucket is missing. I don't even know what RLS policies are. Do you know, Gideon?
I don't know the meaning, but it got something to do with security because Lovable, it interacts directly with some database in the back end. So
Yeah.
the database, how it works with Lovable is the front end, when it stores data, it calls an API that directly interacts with the DB. So it would require you to add some policies to make sure that, the database is not publicly readable, things like that.
Yeah.
You
Good.
only
Yeah. So the idea is, like I said, like a good way to end this episode is if it's able to break down our bank statement. Okay. Let me just go to my friend here, ChatGPT, and I say, generate a sample credit card statement for 1 month. So what I would do is I use AI to generate a sample credit card statement. Yeah, that will contain, like, okay,
Yeah, I think it's fixed.
did it. Okay, it's analyzing test data. Yep. Continue with Fin. So there's an error here. I did this before. I don't know what happened here. Let's just say 1,000. Oh, what's happening? It's not ending. Okay. I am the onboarding is looping. Okay, so we'll try to fix that. And while it's doing that, let me just go ahead and continue to. Okay, so it's asking me to do something here. It says that, okay, I'm just gonna allow that.
Yeah, I'm already in the dashboard, and I think there's still a lot of work to do
Uh,
because we remixed it, so it's.
yeah, and that's expected. But the thing
Mhm,
is, the good thing about this is I don't have to think about design, right? I
mhm,
already like
yeah,
the revenue coach. I already like it, except for the fact that it's for a different purpose. And I'm just gonna go ahead and, like I said, where I would like to take this for this episode is that if it's able to parse properly the bank statement. Why is it looping?
can you try to access dashboard directly?
What's the problem here? Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
already in the dashboard. So now, yeah, so it seems like it's For 10x Salon, I think what we need to do here is I think there's a problem in the original revenue coach, and we need to fix that because I think it's processing. Okay, but I think pretty solid in terms of UI. I like its simplicity.
Yeah.
Okay, on update the dashboard. Okay, so this is where I would like to, this is what I would like to do basing on the specifications that we have. So on the dashboard, I will key in what we have on the specs, right? Update the dashboard, right? And then I would just say
Hmm.
this, and then boom, and then there. So what I'm trying to say is I would like it to have an income versus expense month, and then an account overview, total balance, number of link accounts, spending breakdown, income growth path, current path versus improved path, and then key insight card, like 1 to 3 short AI generated insights. Okay. So let's see what it will do with that information. And obviously, yeah, I agree with you, Gideon. There's definitely a lot of work that needs to happen here. I would say this is we're like at maybe 5% of
Hmm.
where we need to go. I
Hmm.
need to improve the growth pathway here in terms of, because I believe I still have to refer to the way sorry, I'm thinking on my feet now. So the way I'm seeing it is like, what if we can get Ramet Seri, Dave Ramsey, all these like financial
Hmm.
guys, and like their framework, we can use the like sort of, we can reference be inspired by their framework and use
Hmm.
like some of the key concepts there to share to us, to show us a growth pathway. When I say growth
Hmm.
pathway, is that, say for example, if there are clarifications, right? I believe like Dave Ramsey has like a guidance on that, how much emergency fund you need to have, right?
Yeah. He had baby steps,
Yeah, the baby
I think.
steps. So I
So.
would like, we're not definitely, that is trademark, baby steps trademark by
Mhm.
Dave Ramsey, but there is something that we can create where in our practice there is a certain measurement of like certain goals of
Mhm.
when you call yourself like succeeding in that area. Right. So there, it's updating itself. So we're still using the task, and now we're, are we following? Yes. So we're following Forge in a way, sort of difficult here because we're rendering and updating, but we're not
Mhm.
updating our requirements. We know for a fact that it will look like this way. And then, so according to our requirements, we just need them. Let me see. I'm hoping that there is always an error every time we upload. And I think it is something to do with the spreadsheet. Am I regretting remixing it? No, I'm not. Finn, I think looks really cool at this
Yeah,
point.
I agree. I think the good thing that I got that we got, in my opinion, is we have a good layout and color theme for
Yeah.
Finn, and it's just that we're remixing something that's, although they have similarities, but we're remixing it from a revenue coach, which is more of a sales and marketing
All
coach,
right.
right?
So at this point, we're reaching the an hour, right? Top of the hour. I want to work on this not live and
Hmm.
like just fix the issue. So I'm going back. I'm just gonna go back to the specification. I'm gonna go back to the specification, right? So we already have the specs in place, down to what the dashboard would look like, and then what accounts are we. There's going to be an account tab wherein this is where we manage the financial data. Okay, this
Hmm.
is where we upload the credit card, so on and so forth. It will change a little bit. The AI coach will remain the same. It will just change the context, right? There are suggested prompt, but I like the current AI coach because the current AI coach can create like really wild like plans, and I really like that. Like, yeah, it maybe like getting out of that is like one thing, but there's just definitely other things. It can suggest like opening. My hope is that it will be able to see like, hey, you're now in a point wherein you've really maxed out trading your time for money, and then you need to generate like another layer of another income. It's the color scheme that we pick yesterday was blue. I actually like green. I didn't realize
Yeah,
that it looks
it,
good there.
it looks
And
great.
yeah, so we're gonna follow this sort of The color that one thing that we don't follow anymore, but will not follow anymore. Let me switch to this. Right. So I see the issue. It's not being parsed correctly. So the thing with parsing data, whether it's PDF, the thing with this is that it doesn't have a format, right? Like you can, I don't think the bank has a format. So this software should be able to accept anything and it will try to analyze it and
Makes
say
sense.
if it's able to, yeah, it's or not.
Yeah, I think it's generating code that parses the CSV and it's yeah, it's smart enough
Yeah. Okay.
as you did.
So what we'll do is let me upload something here. It's only CSV. Okay. It should be able to upload PDFs, bank statements, and or credit. Okay. So let's see. Let's improve that. And like I said, we can end here because I want to make sure that we end. We keep the episodes within the hour, right? But yeah. Let me fix that and then see you next episode.
Next episode we'll continue with the render step and then hopefully we'll get to the
Yeah, well, hopefully
core,
within
the
before the next
gauge and
episode we'll
expand.
have something that we can have our friends test out, right?
Yeah.
And maybe
Mhm.
maybe we can have one of our friends come over and say, hey, yeah, I've used the app, and give us
Mhm.
live updates on our
Yeah.
live feedback on what it looks like. Okay,
Hmm.
that would be great. And yeah, so it's quite exciting for me to see Fin and be able to use Fin in the future. If you notice, we've created Fin specifically as a desktop application, right? Where we might be going mobile, but for now, we would like to use desktop. And there are many reasons for that. Infrastructure wise, it's easier. Like deployment wise, it's easier to do. But there is always a PWA path wherein you don't need to publish. But we might publish, right? So that's still an asset. Okay. So yeah, Gideon, do you have any thoughts on closing, or what do we have here? We try to see.
Yeah, it's the first time I'm seeing how the remix work, and I can tell if you if you remix something from slightly similar but different, then probably it would be good. But in this case, it's a bit of a like there's a difference in the use cases, right? So
Totally.
probably that's why.
Yeah, and I also that there are mistakes in the revenue coach because of this feature.
Okay,
I
okay.
realized like, oh yeah, there was a bug in revenue coach that I didn't fix, and then I should
Mm,
fix that because we will have users on the revenue coach later. And then at this point, we're pretty much building like three, four things like at the same time, and yeah, there's just so many things that I've learned in the process. But yeah, I guess the would it be faster if we have, another like just using the specification and putting it inside Replit? Would it probably be better? I really don't have any idea. I'm curious if it's different, if it will turn out to be different,
mm,
right? So I don't know. But I am loving the logo of Finn, the color
yeah.
scheme of Finn, just the onboarding. What I like about the revenue coach was the onboarding side, wherein it's like
Mm,
trying to get data and
mhm,
then trying to upload what's really important. And it has those same characteristic and some same
mhm,
functionalities. And I really like that. And I
mhm.
don't have to tell Lovable to do that for me because
Yeah, yeah.
Lovable has already used, like, by remixing it, it has inherited all those features.
And you didn't tell it initially when after you logged in, it was still showing the revenue coach inputs, right? And then when you corrected it, did you explicitly say something?
No.
Because it fixed that. It's now shown, okay, are you living paycheck to paycheck or
Yeah,
those
yeah.
things, right? So it's able to.
That's a good point. That's a good point because I actually really like that. I don't have to
Mhm,
say these are the questions that you should be asking. So
mhm,
that's quite interesting to me that it already has this preset. And that's what I'm expecting really for AI applications like this, because
mhm,
AI has access to like different types of model and different types of ways to, get data and like filter users and
mhm.
yeah, all these kind of things. I was so surprised that that is able to do that.
Yeah.
Now to think about it, I did have like few questions that I feed into when I was building the revenue coach. I did feed into some questions like, oh, I maybe you should ask this and that, right? But
Mhm.
it did expanded the onboarding questionnaire, and that's interesting. When I was doing the contractor one, remixing the revenue coach, so the revenue coach now has two kids, right? The contractor business, professional
It's
contractor
like in real life,
revenue.
right? Every kid is different.
Yeah,
Right?
every child is different. Yeah, so now it's now being forked into two types of like what do you call that, like spin,
Spawn.
oh yeah, it's spawn, like yeah.
Mhm.
I was thinking about like a show and like spin off, right?
A
It has a
spin-off.
spin off, right? And so yeah, and we'll show you the the contractor revenue coach in the future, but we would like to use it first. Like use it first and see, because we actually have a business that needs that, and
Mhm.
we have we have people in the team that we would like to assign some of those tasks and actually do those tasks, and we'll see how we can just grow, how it will help us move to the next level in our business. That would be a very interesting episode. Okay, but yeah, we'll keep on working on this. The thing is, with the holidays coming in, actually, it's a good thing for me because that means I have time, more time now to build these projects that I've been wanting to see. And yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so watch out for episode number 4. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. Gideon, you'd like to share more?
Guys, feel free to put in the comments if you have any suggestions or feedbacks. Yeah, we would appreciate any feedback from you.
Yeah, it's so much
Yeah.
fun to do this. I hope even if you're not watching the whole thing, like if you're just putting your mouse like at the very beginning, try to understand and then go to the end to see if we're successful. I will understand that, but I hope you have as much fun just watching those two, timeline as much as we're building it. So yeah. Okay. Guys, thank you so much for watching Growth Mafia the TV. We really appreciate the time that you're spending with us. And if you do have ideas, don't be afraid to just do it and just work on it, work on them right away, because you don't really know what you're capable of until you get it to try. You did?
Yep. And we have our website, growthmafia.tv. If you want to join the community, we'll put in the description on how to join. And
Yeah,
you need
growth,
email.
growthmafia.tv. Yeah, I love that URL. Oh, guys, thank you so much for watching and have a good Christmas to all of you. Goodbye for now.
Bye bye.